a very good day to you all, lovely people, and welcome to My Women. Welcome to My Women, the Women Empowerment Show. You know, many women would rather keep their sex lives behind the closed doors for a variety of reasons. And some of them do not have much in the way of interest based on religious or cultural beliefs. And in some cases, due to psychological issues or problems in their relationships, coupled with their own set of personal beliefs and treatable psychological or biological issues that are always beyond their control. But the question is whether or not sexual empowerment is a good thing. With me to discuss this very sensitive topic today, which is shunned by many, including myself, is our own queen of the airwaves, counselor, the Soulsissy, as I call her, and many others also call her. But before then, enjoy our theme song. She is a Woman by Riala from Ghana.
Educated, talented, she knows her worth. She's cultural, a woman of substance. And when she walks, the world will stop and stare. She's a woman. And fearless, she knows her worth. She's grateful, a woman of substance. And when she walks, the world will stop and stare. She's a
Welcome back to My Women, lovely viewers. And we have the Soulsissy in the house today to discuss all you need to know about sexual empowerment. Welcome to the show, my darling sister.
Grace, I can't hear you. If you can hear me, I can't hear you.
Hello, you still cannot hear me? You can hear me now? Okay, while we're working on the sound, please, lovely viewers, be patient with us. We'll get our lovely sister back online soon. Today, we are going to discuss about sexual empowerment. So stay tuned. Hello, sis.
Solo, solo, solo. Solo beninyala so company. Solo beninyala so company. Malmu sumha, malmu goya. Solo. Tiyum yataba kasum tabiya.
Black woman be heard.
Oh yeah, let us stomping of her feet, the energy of her youth,
and the knowledge of the truth set you free. Yes, I shall never kake. Oh, I dash the Messiah. Babu happened the episode tonight. Hear the voice of Africa. Be the voice of Africa. The voice of Africa, bring a change. Be the voice of Africa.
So sorry for the technical hitch, lovely people. Welcome again to MyWomen. My sister, you can hear me now?
Yes, Grace, I can. I can hear you now.
Welcome to MyWomen.
Thank you, darling. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll go straight to the questions. What does it mean to be sexually empowered as a woman?
Sexual empowerment. Let me first and foremost forgive my manners. Let me first and foremost welcome our viewers from all over the world. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I hope that this afternoon we have a fruitful discussion, really. I hope we have an interesting time. By definition, sexual empowerment means giving power or authority to somebody, making them stronger, more confident, especially when it's in their right too. Okay, so it is basically that. When it comes to sex, it means that the person has the power to choose when to have sex, where to have sex, in fact, and with who. All right, so it is that authority over one's body, over one's right, as in one's right, to be intimate as and when they want to. So that is sexual empowerment in its generality. When we narrow it down to the sexual empowerment for the woman, it is that right, that control given to the woman over herself, her body. She has that control over her body for who she is. So if it's me, Gloria, I have that power to say that I want to have sex this time. I want to have sex with this person. I want to have sex here and all that. It is that control and that right, in that ambit. Let me put it that way, Grace.
Okay. So is there any connection between female sexual empowerment and feminism?
There certainly is. After all, we all belong to it both belongs to the same gender, female. Okay, so feminism, it's simply highlighting the girl child or the womanhood. Okay, it's about recognition of womanhood. It's about placing the woman in the highlight, the female gender, let me say, in the highlight, highlighting their goods, highlighting their qualities, highlighting their skills, pushing them up front and not backwards. Okay, so basically, if sexual empowerment has any connection with feminism, it's about giving the woman her rights when it comes to sexuality, highlighting her sexuality, giving her that control and that power to stand, I mean, as a woman when it comes to her sexual choices, sexual influences. I don't know if you can hear me, Grace. So yes, there is a connection, there is a link between the two. It is basically highlighting the sexuality of womanhood or of the female gender.
Okay, well explained. Many people wonder if there is any real connection or relationship between a woman's self-esteem and her sense of sexual empowerment. Can you explain?
A lot of it, Grace. You see, let me take you to Africa. Here in Africa, the society pushes the male gender up front. The male gender is given a lot of opportunities. The male gender is given a lot of access. Not too long ago, it was the male gender that was pushed to go to school, and the female gender was kept back home in the kitchen to help mommy, to help the keeping of home, because for society in Africa, the farthest a woman can go is to be married to a man and to serve the home and to take care of your kids. Okay, so it is now that we have decided to turn the table around, because we have realized that when you put both genders, I mean, on the same pedestal, there are qualities that will come up if they are paired like that. I mean, if they are given opportunities, let me not even say paired. If they are given opportunities, the woman can also do a lot of good other than just being a wife and a mother, okay, and taking care of the home, cleaning the home, cooking for the kids and stuff. All right. So by giving us that empowerment, the woman is able to up her self-esteem. She's able to believe in herself. That I can do this. She's able to get that voice to speak, to say that sexually I can do this. Sexually I want to do this. Sexually I want to be able to have a say. I want to be able to have a say, for example, in a certain sex position, for example. I want to be able to say that, touch me this way. I want to be able to say, don't touch me this way because it doesn't make me feel good. So, sexual empowerment, yes, gives a woman, it pushes her self-esteem. It boosts our self-esteem because you are able to have a voice, to vocalize what you are feeling, to be able to say, I want this, I don't want this. I mean, so that you are allowed to share your opinion. So yes, sexual empowerment has a lot of, connection with self-esteem. In fact, it boosts our self-esteem. If we are given that opportunity to be empowered sexually, we are able to, boost our self-esteem. We are able to push ourselves out, believe in ourselves, have a voice, be able to put our foot forward when it comes to our self-esteem. Great.
Very much. Thank you very much for that explanation. Oh, sister, as Christian women, is it okay to be sexually empowered? Or is it okay to be called a sexually empowered woman as a Christian, or as the movement of sexual empowerment entails the freedom to express oneself sexually and also to be attracted to whosoever you desire, including same sex. So do you think that is godly, or is it biblical, or anything like that? You can explain.
Okay. The first part is whether a woman. Grace, help me with the first part. Let me take it a bit, in bits.
Down. I'm asking if it is okay to be empowered sexually as a Christian woman, because when I look at, or when we look at sexual empowerment in general, it entails the freedom to express oneself, like yourself as a woman, to express yourself and your sexuality, and which also entails being attracted to whoever or whosoever you desire, including the same sex. So do you think it is in line with our beliefs as Christians So as a
Okay.
Christian
So let me take the
woman,
first. Let me take the first part first. Um, Christianity has everything to do with being empowered. For me, Christianity, if you are a woman and you are empowered sexually, why not? God created sex. And when God created sex, God created sex to be between two people. And these two people are two matured people who say that I want this, I want that. So the fact that I'm a Christian doesn't mean that I can't say that I want sex, and I should be able to express myself sexually. Okay. As a Christian, if you are vocally sexually, no problem at all. I'm a Christian, but I'm able to talk about Christianity. You see, in time past, we were crippled. And so even in the church, we couldn't talk about sex. We couldn't preach sex. But for Christ's sake, God didn't create sex. And in fact, if I'm a Christian and he's my God and he has created sex, who better enjoys it? It's not me. It is for me. He created it for me. So we were only held in dark. The Bible told us was that we should not engage in it. I mean, in fornication or as in adultery or in fornication. But the sexual act itself was created by our God. That it will be used in what settings? In the settings of love. So it is not out of place for a Christian woman to be empowered sexually, to be vocally, open about sexual needs and sexual desires and all that. It is not, wrong for a Christian to be vocally sexually. It is not. It is not at all. It is within our ambit. I would, use that word. It is even for us. It was created by our God, and so we would have to talk about it. We would have to use it. I'm looking for a Bible verse that spoke about what God told us when He said that we did something wrong as human beings. So He gave us up to vile. What do you call that thing? Vile. I want a word. Vile desires. By vile desires, so that we were doing what was unnatural. I don't know if you get me. I'm looking for that verse, and my brother is helping me with it. Good. Let me go to it is in Romans 1:26-32. Forgive my viewers who are not Christians, but I'm a Christian. I just have this reference. That is where I stand. And so do not agree with our brethren who say same sex and same sex thing. It is by this verse and probably many others why I, as a Christian, do not, subscribe to the same sex concept. And even before I go into the same sex, the Bible's, reading, but for our viewers who may want to check, it's Romans chapter 1, verse 26-32. It's a bit lengthy. Romans chapter 1, verse 26-32. If my viewers would want to cross-check, this is where I'll be reading from. Now, before I go into the scripture, when we take our brethren and our sisters who are into same-sex practice, grace, there is one who behaves like a woman, and there is one who behaves like a man. If you have seen the way our gay and sex, our lesbian and LGBTs, I mean the movement, if we have seen how they behave, there is always one who is a man. There is always one who is acting as a woman. So I ask again, where did God go wrong when he created a man and he created a woman for that purpose? So to me, I don't think that we should wallow in that. God created a man for a purpose. He created a woman for a purpose. So I don't like that thing when people say that they were born with it. No, you were not born with it. Hormonal upsurges and changes happen during conception, and so some of these things may happen where somebody is a male but behaves or has some traits of feminism. That doesn't mean that you should go looking for a same-sex partner. To me, let me go into the Bible, Grace. If you are going to behave like a man and one is going to behave like a woman, then why don't you go for what God created originally? So for me, as a Christian, I don't succumb to that. And this is the reason. Let me read, Grace. I hope we have time for it. Can I read? Okay, Grace, I couldn't hear that, but let me read.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Romans chapter 1, verse 26 to 32. I'm reading the King James Version. It says, "For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, buried in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And when and even as let me go, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to reprobate mind. Grace, listen to this. To do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness. It goes on and on, right on to verse 32. So I'm saying that just the verse 26 and 27, my viewers can later go and read the entire. It was something that we did wrong as human race. That Bible says that for this cause, for that thing that we did wrong, God kind of gave us up like that to all those vile affections, so that we, instead of using the natural way, we turn against the natural. Grace, what is the natural? When God created the heavens, God created an Adam, and through the ribs of an Adam, there was an Eve. Now, if that is the natural thing, but by virtue of whatever error we did, and so we have gone against, God, and He has decided to give us up for something that is unnatural, and we are doing this. It's not godly. It's not Christian. It's unbiblical, I would say. So the fact that I say that I am empowered as a woman doesn't mean that I should engage in same sex. I don't believe in that. Those are not my values. Those are not my Christian values. And I don't agree with people who go into that. But yes, say, sexual empowerment is supposed to give me a voice. It's supposed to give me a self-esteem, to have control, to have some rights when it comes to engaging in sex. For me, sex is between a man and a woman, and not the other way around. So sexual empowerment should give me a voice, should give me an authority over my body, some rights, but with a man and not with a same-sex, relationship. Great.
So much for that clarification, my darling sister. Is well explained. But why do we always have the impression that sexual empowerment rather encourages promiscuity, multiple sex partners, and premarital sex? Can you explain that? Because we have that impression.
It's wrong. If we are given power, there is freedom, but there is rights with freedom. So you are given power, but your power should be within a certain ambit, should be a certain frame. You can't overdo something just because you have the power. You can't abuse power, even though we see that all over. All right, so we are asking for sexual empowerment to be able to reduce drastically rape, for example, to be able to, reduce instances of sexual harassment, to also get people to be punished for some of these assaults when they are perpetrated against the womanhood or the female gender. But it doesn't mean that I have sexual empowerment, so I should go out there and just be sleeping around. As an African woman, I will always refer to me because that is where I am coming from. I believe that we have been given some values at a point in time, and one of these values includes faithfulness. At a point in time, when I am in a relationship with somebody and I feel that I don't want to go on again, good thing for me is to end that relationship and then move on, engage somebody else for another. But I don't keep this person. I'm having problems with this person in this relationship, and then I am just gallivanting all over, sleeping around in the name of sexual empowerment. I think that's not the case. That is wrong, and that is not proper. So if you are given, if there is an impression out there, it is wrong. Yes, you have control over your body. Unfortunately, I have heard youngsters who say that, oh, it is my vagina. I choose to give it to whoever, and then it doesn't matter if it's going to be 2 or 3, 4, 5 people because it is mine. Well, it may be yours, but you must use that organ appropriately. And in fact, you must place value on it. I always say, place value on that organ that God gave you as a woman. Don't just throw it. And in the Bible, like we see, that valuables have been thrown, before pigs. No, that is not proper. That should tell you that God has blessed you with something that if you use it appropriately, it can really become, how should I put it? I mean, it can bring you good, but not to be thrown out there before pigs. Give it to anybody, whoever, just because you can. No, put some value on that womanhood. Put some value on that vagina. Don't just throw your gold before the pigs because you think you have it in abundance. It is your gold anyway. Well, yes, it's your gold anyway. You can give it to whoever, but please, for Christ's sake, gold is to be treated like it is. How many people have seen pigs with gold in their snout? Because pigs go out there, they eat in the mud and stuff, and then you see a gold ring in their snout. No, it's not done. So gold cannot be given to pigs. So until you place value on that womanhood, until you place value on that vagina, well, unfortunately, you'll be treating it like it is, like we see people do it. In one of my videos that I did not too long ago, I said that sex has become nothing. Sex is selling now on the market. Sex is selling on the market, and it has become so cheap, unfortunately. But I don't believe God created sex to be so cheap. But it has become the cheapest means to riches. It has become the cheapest means to the top, sort of. I mean, quote, has become so cheap that people don't value it anymore. But I want people to go back. What was the purpose that God created sex for us? Yes, for pleasure, and also for procreation, and for bonding spiritually and bodily with whoever you say you love. All right, so let's not just be throwing our gold before the pig's grace. I don't think that sexual empowerment should put us before, I mean, I don't know how to say, should make us throw our value away just because we think we have been empowered to do so, Grace.
Thank you very much. Well spoken, my darling sister. So we'll take a short break to read some of the questions and contributions we have from our
Okay,
lovely
Grace.
viewers. Welcome. Okay. Welcome, my darling sister Diana, sister Annalyn, sister Mercy, sister Instead. Thank you so much. Beatrice, Sir Samson, hero. We are so happy you've joined us, and all you lovely people watching us live on Facebook and on YouTube. Sister Mercy says, you are looking sweet, sis. Thank you very much, my darling sister, Mercy. And Sister Diana says, sexual empowerment is understood as a multidimensional process comprising of a variety of attitudes and behaviors. It can be impacted by culture. What are your views on that? Sis, do you have any response to that? Sister Diana's question?
Yes, especially the latter part that says that it can be impacted by culture. As Africans, our culture have at a point kind of placed us in the background sexually. We have to lie down and just take it as it is given. And so, yes, our society has that. But also, it is by this same impact that we are picking a few things from our Westerners, from our much more advanced, world, that is giving us some voice to be able to speak about sexual empowerment. It is, yes, it comprises of attitudes and behaviors. It is true. When you are sexually, empowered, there is a way you are able to carry yourself. You are able to, put forward a certain attitude, and people see you in a certain light. People begin thinking that, okay, well, you are very outspoken. In fact, when some of us started speaking about sex, people thought that, whoa, we have gone over our boundaries. I mean, a woman is not supposed to talk like that. Also a Christian woman and all that. But we forget that it is education, and we must have a generation that is coming after us that is emboldened and empowered when it comes to making sexual choices, but appropriately. Let me be quick to add that appropriate sexual choices, not just because a bouquet is offered, you eat everything in the bouquet because it makes it beautiful. No, you must be able to select that. Okay, a bouquet came in this, but I love this. I love this because it adds up to my original creation as how God created me. Let's not joke around and see. When God created a woman and a man, Grace, God gave us different. Look at how a woman's body looks like. I mean, we come in all the softness, in all the curves, the hair, the stuff. Even fine, we are cutting our hair and all that. The woman's structure is different from the man. It means that the woman has some complementary duties to do, to some flowering activity. I tell my male colleagues that we are the flowers of life. We are the flowery part of life. So the men are all straight and hard and all that. We come into complement with some softies and all that. So it is us women who are giving hugs at the workplaces. It is us who are patting and rubbing the men at the back. Forgive me, I forget we don't have three audience. Left to our men alone, it will just be all hard and all straight. I mean, like that, bony and stuff. But it is a woman who gives you a warm hug, and you're like, wow, I'm resting on some softness. Even if she's as slim as I am, you are able to feel some comfort. So yes, great. So the way God created us in our differences are unique, and the uniqueness is to complement each other. It is to come together and then beautifully make society a beautiful place to be. So I believe that we all have our place and we should do it. We should occupy our place. When we occupy our places carefully, and we do what we are all supposed to do, come on. The world we will create will be so beautiful, so peaceful and all that. So yes, I agree with her that it is impacted by culture, but it has to be the positive side of culture, not the negative side. Grace.
Thank you very much, my darling sister. Beatrice says, very educative program. Kudos to you. And Sister Diana again says, the Bible says, sorry.
Sorry, I know. Sorry, Grace.
Sister Diana said, the Bible says that God created man and woman, making reference to Adam and Eve. If you are married, it is okay for you to explore and enjoy your sexual gratification. The problem exists whenever sex is abused, sorry. The problem exists whenever sex is abused or is done inappropriately. For example, when someone is raped or is committing fornication, sex is for married people. How would you address this issue? Sis.
Okay, Grace. Dinah, hello to you and thank you for your question. Sex is for married people. I believe that. I agree with you. I believe God created sex for marriage. I believe that. I belong to that school that believes that. I wouldn't want to talk plenty on it. It's only unfortunate. Like the body is every now and then the body will call. Hormones are calling and drawing you to the opposite sex. You feel tingles. They touch you. They speak a word, and you go all gaga. And unfortunately, we have sex out there. It also comes down to how cheap we have made sex. And so if I can get sex even before I marry, why waste time and marry? Unfortunately, so that is how come that fornication is all out there, adultery is all out there. And so what? It's nothing. All right, but that is not supposed to be the case. I agree with you, Diana. It belongs within the marriage setting. If in fact we all were going to do that, we wouldn't have had a problem with God at all. I believe we wouldn't have had a problem with God at all. Frankly, I don't know how God will judge us when we go to heaven, because if we take a percentage of people who never had sex before they got married, I'm thinking it's going to be very, very small. Very, very small. But well, I'm not God. I am human. So let me enjoy my humanity here. When we go, God Himself has a way of, judging us. After all, we are His. But it's true. It's supposed to be within the ambit of marriage. Unfortunately, it is not happening. But I agree with you, Dinah. I agree with you. Grace.
Okay, sister, thank you very much. So, sister, you made me laugh.
You're enjoying the thing before marriage.
I'm really enjoying, and I'm enjoying my sneezing as well. Sister Inse,
Sorry, dear. So sorry.
Sister Inse Samuel Kasali. She says, "Good afternoon, ladies and full-time buzzers. Good afternoon, lovely.
Good afternoon.
My pastor's wife. God bless you for joining us. It's always a joy to see you." Chair Samson says, and that's Hero, your brother Hero. He says, "You are wonderful."
Yeah.
I'm watching Ajuman. I love programs like this about sex. And you also compare things with the Bible, and it makes it more educative for us. God bless you so much. And we love you so much. And we love so much. Hey, that's something. Your terms are very serious. Thanks for joining us. My dear friend, George Jr. We are so happy you are watching us today. Beatrice is asking, when a woman is sexually empowered, the men's, I think she's rather contributing. She said, when a woman is sexually empowered, the men see her as proud or rude. Sis, is that true? Men see women who are sexually proud or rude?
There are two ways to it. Okay. So publicly, they may condemn you and think that, oh, that's not a woman's place to be all bold and sassy about, sex and all that. Even though I must commend society. Lately, society is accepting that women can boldly come forward and then, express our empowerment sexually and stuff. But guess what? Let me tell you the secret behind that. Even though the men may condemn women outward and publicly, in the bedrooms, men want their women to be sassy, to be frisky. They want women to take charge. They enjoy women riding and, in fact, directing the sex. So in the bedrooms, they enjoy it. But if we have to come out and talk about it, our men say no. Why? That is double standard. So they should allow us, just like we're able to express ourselves in the bedrooms, to be able to express ourselves to publicly when it comes to a conversation, when it comes to discussions like this. I think that our men should allow us. After all, the sexual engagement is between the two of us. So we should not give dominance only to them. I posted something on my page not too long ago. I was asking about how men feel when women take charge. A lot of men said that they love it, but it's unfortunate that the women don't like doing it. And it is also because of our upbringing. Society has told us it is not a woman's place, for example, to call for sex. It is only now that it's changing. Society has told us that it is a man's, a man is the hunter, a woman is the prey. So if you are the hunter, then I lie down, I kind of hide from you, cry. Then you will be coming at me. So we go into the rooms, we are expecting our men to remove our clothes, wait for them to reach out to us, because that is the upbringing we got. It is now that we are learning a few things, from civilization and from the Westerners, which I think it's good. The men enjoy it, so they should allow us to publicly also. It is not rudeness. It is not. I know that some women can be rude about it anyway, but you don't have to be rude just because you are empowered. No, that I don't think is proper. I don't think it's appropriate. We should use our sexual empowerment beautifully, and it will blow people's mind, and not to incur their wrath unnecessarily. What is there to be rude about anyway? If you are expressing sexual, empowerment by your choices you make, by sexual positions you want, by having control over your body. I want to have sex now, no, delayed. I mean, why? Why not? So I don't think that we should be proud. We should be rude. We should rather be empowered. Great.
Empowered, not rude,
Not
or not to be
rude.
seen as rude.
Hmm.
Okay. So Beatrice has another question. She said, when does the empowerment become too much or abuse? Or how, sometimes they say too much of everything is bad. So when does it become an abuse or too much by women, not men in particular, or necessarily?
Yeah, okay. So it is he who has the power that has the ability to abuse it. Okay, so when per your sexual empowerment, you decide to take advantage of other people. So per your sexual empowerment, you are raping. Per your sexual empowerment, you are just, taking people, or I know people who have to engage in some sexual positions that they don't like, but because you are my partner and you say you want it. Do you understand? So we abuse the power when we go overboard with what we have. When you kind of torment the other person with what you have, because whatever power and right you have, it ends where another person's own begin. It's simply so. So yes, you have power, but you don't eat into somebody else's harvest. That is not your territory. So use your power within your ambit, within your reach, within your circumstances, within your environment. If it's in a relationship and you have a partner, and then he wants to, for example, I don't know if I should use the word rape, or he wants sex and wants to take it by force. You have that power to say that I don't want it, and then renegotiate another time. I mean, you have that ability to speak about it. You have that ability to say, no, I don't want this sex position. I have seen videos of women crying, lamenting. Their partners are giving them, if it's allowed to use, for me to explain, to use in your on your set. Partners are giving them anal sex. I mean, women, and then these men want to give them anal sex, and they don't want it. These are supposed to be partners, husbands. Some are in marriages, and they say, no, I don't want it. They are abused, they are raped for it, they are taken by force. So if it is a reverse, you have a husband, you are a woman, we are talking about sexual empowerment, and probably you are handling your man's sexual organ in a certain way that is abusive, that is hurting. and all you think that, oh, he's my partner, I can take that organ anytime I want. No, no, because we are condemning it on the other side. Let's condemn it on the reverse. You can't just take it because you say you have the power to. Okay, no, you can't just do that. Sex must be communicated and it must be agreed upon. So it will be to an extent where you are abusing the other person, where you are taking them by force, or in fact, you are virtually suffocating them with your sexual power that you say you have.
But sis, you know that unfortunately, women or wives in particular who say no to certain forms of sex with partners are considered uptight and old-fashioned. But does it necessarily mean that being sexually empowered, because you just stated it, that you don't have to agree to everything, but must you, as a woman, in the name of sexual empowerment, agree to everything, every form of modern sexual practices, regardless of how you feel? Because you made mention of, I want to emphasize on it so that women listening will understand, will come to terms with it.
It's a big no, Grace. It's a big no. You see, the beauty about sex is that I love you, you love me. You want me, I want you. We want to commune spiritually and bodily too. We want to satisfy a certain longing within us. And so I reach out to you, you reach out to me. It is maturity, it is an agreement. Even if you didn't have the intention of having sex, I mean, the person is someone you love, the person reaches out to you, your hormones start boiling and turning you up, you succumb to it. Now, you don't have to give in to any sexual activity just because they say that you are in a relationship. No, I gave that example about married women who are being given anal sex. They don't want it. You don't have to succumb to it. No, sex is supposed to be an agreement. It's a bond. It's a communication. I mean, it's not a master-servant thing, give and take. No, that's not it. So you are not supposed to just give in to any sexual. I know that society will condemn you and say that he's your husband, whatever he's giving, you should take. No, that's not it. Sex is not supposed to hurt me. Sex is not a form of punishment. So if I don't enjoy it, if I don't like it, why should I just be there in the name of I'm a woman, or in the name of I am a wife, and so I must take every sexual activity that is being meted at me? No, it's a big no. I don't think that we should agree to that. If you don't want a certain sexual encounter or an activity that is being given you, you say no. You see, but the how to say the no is probably a problem. There's no need to fight it, but a no, make that silent voice audible. It's a no, and then you are able to tell your partner and know that he will understand. Okay, and I'm begging the men, when you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage and all, and your woman says, I don't want this, please, even if you are at the verge of inserting the penis into the vagina, stop. Otherwise, it will be an abuse to the highest level. Grace, you're laughing. Forgive me. It will be an abuse to the highest level. And in our court of law, in our law court, now, when the law is considering rape, even if you said that, oh, you were too aroused to stop, the law court will not accept that. The law says that even if you were about to enter her, she says no, pull out. All right, so we should not just be made to receive anything in the name of sex, and not be condemned because we can vocally say no to something. I don't know if Grace, I'm clear on that.
You are very clear on that. You made me laugh.
I'm so sorry.
Gloria, Soulsissy, it's always fun to be with you. Please let's take a break for more contributions and questions.
Okay, dear, that's fine.
Hero says, you're looking so beautiful, Auntie Grace. Please do these sex programs for us always. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, my dear brother, Hero. Sister Diana, she says, I strongly believe how one has been indoctrinated or educated about the topic sex will determine how you treat or handle sexual issues in regards to sexual empowerment.
Absolutely.
So you
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it all comes down to where our values have been cultivated from. See, if you put two youngsters together, one from the Western world and one from Africa, our opinions are different. The African cannot talk about sex openly. Sex is supposed to be sacred. Sex is supposed to be talked about in the bedroom. In fact, like that, in the dark. But the Westerner, even if they are an African and they were brought up in the Western world, will be able to just speak their minds irrespective of their age. And so it is true. Our indoctrination, it starts from our environment. It starts from our society. So I agree with her 100%. It will determine, but for some of us, we have to evolve along the way. We were all brought up as an African. We were brought up not to talk about sex and all that. But along the way, we evolved. We kind of popped up, sort of, when we realized that we could be a tool. We could be a voice to people. So yes, by indoctrination, but you can also break free from some indoctrination along the way if you so will.
If you will not be tagged a rebel in Africa.
Well, rebel for good. I mean, I'm not holding guns. This is my mouth.
Thank you very much. In connection with what you've just said, I want to ask if sexuality education or media literacy education is really relevant in our African societies as it optimizes adolescent girls' sexual empowerment, which is considered alien to our culture. Because, our culture as Africans instills values and encourages abstinence compared to the Western world that allows it, allows girls, even adolescents, engage in sex. So do you think that sexuality education is really relevant and in terms of this sexual empowerment, as it's rather instills that, go and do it then?
I get you, Grace. I get you, but I think that education in whatever form, wherever, is good. Sexual education is good. I've forgotten a certain there was a certain policy not too long ago, I think last year or so, here in Ghana, where the government wanted to pass a policy that would teach education to kids, 5-year-olds or something like that. Some of us didn't like the idea because of age. I'm thinking that yes, we should educate our girls, we should educate our boys equally, especially the girls, because it is something that we are now doing. But we must start from the right age. I'm thinking when you expose kids too early to sexual education, it's wrong. Too late is wrong. We must have the right education at the right age. But yes, sexual education, it's conk, and it's very, very important. You are supposed to tell your boy that if you insert your penis into the vagina of another, she can become pregnant. And you see, our girls now, 13 years, 12 years, even 9 years, are menstruating. That makes them eligible to be pregnant. So if we get the right age of education, yes, we should tell our boys that if you do this to a woman, do this to a girl, it's not appropriate, it's not accepted, and that it can bring an unwanted pregnancy. And if you are young, you could just destroy your entire future because you've gone in too early. Okay, so education, sexual education is very important, but I think that we should get it at the right age. And parents, teachers, and society must be involved to do that education. So that if I have educated my kid and he goes out there or she goes out there to meet another kid equally educated, then we have two minds that will not do something wrong because they know the consequences that comes with it. But when one person is educated, one the other is naive, that is when curiosity comes in. So the one that is educated is able to influence the naive one, and then the unexpected or what we didn't want can happen. But yes, I am all for education of our sex in our children. But the right age and appropriate age is what we have to look at. Grace.
You know, Sister Annalyn is corroborating what you are saying. He said that as a teacher, we differentiated between sexuality education and sex education. That means there are two things: sex education and sexuality education.
Yes, I agree.
think that sexuality education has to do with sexual empowerment, and then sex education has to do with getting pregnant, teenage pregnancy, and how to protect yourself and stuff like that.
I agree with that. And hi to Annalyn too.
Thank you very much, Annalyn. And so we'll take I think Brother Evans Amwa has a question. Okay, before I think Evans Amwa's question is not ready. So let me take the question from Sir Samson. He says, Samson, hero. He says, though sex making is not a war, but please, what advice can you give to those women who say they don't like sex making at all in marriage?
then the marriage is not a place for them, because one of the elements in marriage is sex. I mean, and sometimes even though sex is not, no, marriage is not medicine to promiscuity. I think that for some people, I know men who will not go out but would want sex a lot of times and from their women. And if you say you don't like sex, please, marriage is not your place. Don't go and worry somebody's son. If sex is not something that you desire, and you're looking for just a companion, go in for a boyfriend, tell him or explain to him that I want a companion. But if you enter into marriage, sex is one of the things, a requirement in marriage. You can't just marry somebody and say that, oh, I married you for all other things, but not sex. I don't get that. So it is not appropriate. If you don't want sex, please don't go into marriage. Simple as
that. Thank you for the clarification. So Ivan Samoa, he says, I believe our culture has really prevented a lot of people from opening up when it comes to these issues. Thank you for this discussion. I think
right.
Thank you. You have anything to say, sis, regarding what you said?
Our culture has done a lot of bad, though, especially as Africans. I don't know. I'm not saying all bad, but it has done some bad when it comes to topics like this. If sex was between two people, why do you give dominance to just one person? All right, and it is that dominance that was given to the male species. That was how come it has come to stay. But we believe that as we go along, because culturally, like I keep saying, a woman is only supposed to look at in the Bible a lot of instances. When a man wants sex, they will go, he's in the room, whoever the woman is, they will get her, they will prepare her, and then bring the woman to the man. I mean, that's not appropriate. Whether she wanted the sex to happen or not, she's just prepared, she's a maiden, and then she's given to the man. Look at in our ancient times, when our colonial, masters were here, that was also what's happening. He wants some sexual gratification, a fine maid who is probably cleaner, or she has to be cleaned like, I mean, she's so dirty, and then she's prepared fine, dressed fine, hair combed and all polished up, and then given to the boss because the boss wants it. So growing up, people think that that is just the way it is. A woman is a sex tool, a sex machine. All she's good at is for sex. And people today make those unfortunate statements. And I think I fight people whenever I hear that. It boils my spirit. I think it's not appropriate. And then they'll tell you that it is us women who have also allowed it. But I think that first and foremost, society kind of give mouth to such thoughts first before we also succumb to it. But gradually, I believe that we would empower ourselves. Even this time that we say we are empowering ourselves and we should be able to talk about it openly, people still cannot. And they will see some of us who are able to speak about it as, hey, you've done well, oh, that you were able to say this and all that. But I think we will get there. Gradually, we will get there. As we all prep our minds that sex is between two people. A man must be able to talk about it. A woman must be able to talk about it, because otherwise the sex can't happen between the two. There must be that agreement. There must be that cohesion, so that we cannot talk about our sexual preferences and sexual desires and all that, like grown, matured adults. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that amazing explanation. Sister Diana said, in the Western society, sex education is taught in schools. As a matter of fact, it is part of our curriculum. Yeah, you are right, my darling.
Yeah, I mean, even here it is, just that it used to be, is it in junior high or senior high? So that when the teacher comes to class and he says, today we are going to talk about the reproductive organ, the whole class will go like, yeah, because we are so new to it. I mean, it's not something that we know. So, well, that was why they wanted to start early. But I think that the early was too early for some of us. So we should find a certain peg that we can start appropriately, where the child can even understand. Sometimes you're educating somebody on something, they don't even understand the dynamics of it. Do you get it? So yes, we should educate them, but at the right age where they can really understand the fundamentals of the education on sex that we want to give them. Not just go there and throw any education out there just because, well, we say we must educate them. Great.
Thank you so much. You cannot teach a kindergarten child sexual education.
You see now, you go and put sex equipment before a kindergarten child.
Okay, Beatrice has a question. I think we will take the final question and then wrap up for the day. She says sexual education should start from the home, right from when the child can identify her body parts. The home is where sexual abuse is on the increase. Sis, any comment?
Yes, I agree. It should start from the home. It should start from the parents. It's true. But you can only give a little at a time. So the child is able to identify their body parts. And it will amaze you. I have an 8-year-old son. Questions that he will ask me, sometimes it's so suffocating. But you have to find a way to explain it to his understanding. He's asking the questions, but understanding the answers you will give is also another thing. All right. When they get a certain age, they are curious. And we must, educate them bit by bit, but we must give them in those smaller doses that they can contain. So as they age, then we are dropping, we are adding up. We should not just drop it, boom, like that. I think that when we expose our kids to too much, we would choke them. We will choke them, and it will not be appropriate for them. So yes, let's give them the doses that is suitable for their age. And let me quickly add to that. In this WhatsApp age, the kids are so intelligent. If you're a parent and you don't take care, what your kid will know, you will not know. And before long, they've accumulated a lot of information that have unanswered, curiosities that have been unanswered or unresponded to, and then they'll be doing something bad behind. So as and when we see that the curiosity is rising, then we'll be dropping the questions, the answers, and then educating them on the go, but not too much at a time. It should be gradually, and I'm sure that we will be fine. We will get there.
Yes, of course, we will be fine. We will get there. So, sis, I want you to give your final advice, or maybe in conclusion, what is your personal view about sexual empowerment? Just wrap everything up and we'll close for the day. Mhm.
Okay, so I would say that if a woman is sexually empowered, it will benefit everybody. Society, would be more equitable. Society would be a nicer place to live in. I mean, we'll achieve a lot together. And I hope that we will start right away empowering our women. And we should also invite people into the conversation. We should have the support of our men on board, because sex is for two people. Sex is for, I mean, it's for more than one. I always say that people who do self gratification and all that, that's not a problem. But know who you are, know your body, have control over your body, when to reach out. Because when you don't have control over your body, you feel horny, and then you are out there looking for the next person who will give you some satisfaction sexually. And that is not proper. So know your body, know how to control your body so that you can give or take sex as and when you desire. And as women, let's also put value on ourselves. And let me also say that we are not sexual tools. We are more than sexual tools. We are not sexual machines that we will just resort ourselves to just that. There's more in us. So we should go out there. We should explore. We should open up. We should learn, educate ourselves, and reach out to the world. Let your dreams or visions be out there, because you are more than just a woman. There are qualities, there are skills. We are brainy, we are intelligent. We should explore. We should open it up and let the world benefit. So we should go out there. We should be empowered, but we should also place value on our sexual empowerment and not be abusive with the power that we have. Grace, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, darling sister. Please, if you have any shout outs, greetings to friends and family, loved ones, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say hi and thank you to all followers and lovers of Love Reigns brand, the Love Reigns TV. Thank you so much for pushing us up there. Thank you for increasing and helping us reach out. Love reigns because we want love to reign. All right, and it includes everything and anything concerning sex, love, relationships. That's what we do. And let me say thank you to my brother, who's like a right hand man to me. He's been helping. Just that lately, I'll not get him, but he's been supportive today. And his name is Evan Samoa. He sent a contribution to us. And thank you to Hero. Hero has also been so. Hero joined you and I. Thank you so much to Hero. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known or have this beautiful relationship we have with FulltimeBuzz, and I'm grateful. So let people go out there, look for me, Gloria Antonia Martin Ajimai, the Soulsissy, and I'm all over with LoveReignsTv on social media. And so you look for us, follow us, like us, and drop comment for us, subscribe to our channels, and we also do counseling and all that. So I'll leave the rest for you, Grace, and then you help us reach the world. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to you too, for all people who helped, so that today I can have a quiet environment for this broadcast. The last time it was so noisy. My husband has been very supportive in this. He has to take care of them today fully, so he's doing that so that I can be here. Thank you again. Thank you for having me, Grace. Thank you so much.
Welcome, darling sister. It's always amazing to have the queen of the airwaves with us, the Soulsissy, the one and only Soulsissy. Thank you. It's always fun to be with you. Thank you, sister. Sister Diana says, wonderful discussion. Thank you, Madam Grace, and thumbs up to our wonderful presenter for keeping us all engaged. Empowerment is the way to go. Thank you. Bless us, Sister Diana. Sister Adeline says, God bless you. We love you all, full-time buzzers. Continue supporting us. And for your information, today is the first anniversary of Full-Time Buzz. Without your support, we wouldn't have reached here. To God be the glory, and thank you. Continue supporting us grow by liking and sharing our videos. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and here on Facebook, support us always, and God will bless you. Thank you. Thank you. And I wish you all happy anniversary as Full-Time Buzz is celebrating. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. See you again another time. Oh, not another time, next week. For Africa in Retrospect. So then, bye-bye.
I never forget, Mama, for the suffer where you suffer for me, yeah. When I dey cry, my mother go carry me. She go say, my pikin, what you dey cry, yo, yo. Stop, 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 make you no cry again, no. When I want sleep, my mother go text me. She go lie me well for bed, oh. She cover me clouds, say make you sleep, 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 my pikin, no. Stop, stop, et ne pleure plus mon bébé, oh.